And we're live.
Hello, I am DM Samuel, and this is the Midgardia RPG stream, and we are playing Endless Night, Rime of the Frostmaiden, and let's have the players introduce themselves in the order they're on the Roll20 screen, and that starts with Karu.
Hi, I always forget I'm first. I'm Karu. I am playing Edemy Argent, the Celestial Warlock Protector Asmar Noble, who wishes she wasn't here because she can't sleep for shit and still has an exhaustion level.
I'm Zayo. I'm playing Sigrid Aulis. She is a Rune Knight fighter, an Earth Genasi, and she is here because of said noble because she ran away from home.
All right. Hi, I'm Sho. I'm playing Bitterfrost, the Boreal Bloodline Sorcerer, and I'm a Levistus Tiefling. I'm just around, and I'm never cold.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Oryx, the Earth Genasi Barbarian, and in real life, being in 10 towns right now would be a blessing because I have been boiling all day. It's 90 degrees out here, y'all. Minus 40 would be a godsend.
You ever experienced minus 40?
Close to it once or twice.
It's
Okay.
great. Hi, I'm Pi. I'm playing Ember, the Blade Singer Wizrar, and I definitely make great life choices that I don't get scruffed from the back of the neck for and then tossed into a bucket if they could manage it. I'll still take the 10 pounds cold, though. It's not 90 here, but I'll take it anyway.
I honestly would be cold rather than hot any day.
Same.
Look, you can bundle up all you want. There's only so much you can take off.
Legally,
That's
anyway.
right. That's exactly. Even if you take it all off, if it's that freaking hot, you're just hot. You can't take your skin off.
Yep. That's why I
Anyway.
will never get people who are like, "Oh no, I hate the cold. I want it really, really hot," and I'm like, "You can have all the
Yeah.
heat."
Mhm. Yeah.
Not
So,
want.
before we begin, I want you to all know that Roll20 sponsors us, and if you are watching this right now, or if you're watching it later on YouTube, you are watching a stream that was streamed through Roll20, or, well, streamed through OBS, but we're on Roll20 to play the game. And Roll20 is an awesome platform. You should check it out. There is a free version. There's also a paid version with all kinds of extra bells and whistles. Either one is fine. They are both awesome. I myself have a paid subscription. I think I don't know I don't really know what the differences are because I use as many bells and whistles as I have available, but I don't remember very much difference when I didn't have a paid subscription and I had a free subscription. I still had a ton of bells and whistles. So there you go. Check them out. They're awesome.
I think the main two I can think of is dynamic lighting, and the free packs that they give once a month. Though I'm not sure if that's pro because they have two subscription levels: the pro and then the plus.
Yeah.
Pro definitely is enough to get you the dynamic lighting. It also has stuff like the transmogrifier, which I don't think we've talked about much, and a lot of people forget it exists, but it is really useful to transfer maps, pages, character sheets from one campaign to another. I've used it more than once to just oh, I need a bunch of templates, and instead of making new templates, I can just grab them from another campaign and drag them to the new campaign.
Nice. Very cool. So there you have it. Check out Roll20, please. All right, so who wants to do a very short recap of what happened to you last time?
We're in East Haven. It's near the end of the month. We met back up with Velen. When we got to East Haven, the townsfolk were burning a sorcerer alive. And they wound up stabbing him instead with a spear because it looked like said sorcerer was either the fire went out or said sorcerer was using magic to keep himself from getting burned to death. We went out and investigated the frozen ferry because that's where we thought another one of the duergar was kind of hiding out. I forgot his name at the moment. We did find him. Earth. Okay, we did find him out there, and turns out he can magically get super tiny. So he was able to get away, and we dealt with a few of his friends who were wearing like mech suits ? Instead. I think we knocked two of them into the water, and I think we got knocked a third one out. So we're hauling him back to town for questioning / inspection of his mech suit, and we found some plans they have for a dragon they're working on, and it has like some weaknesses or notes of things that need to be fixed for it to work better and be more dragony and destructive and whatnot.
Okay. Anything else? Captain Arlagath told you that there were also 4 townsfolk missing.
That's right, the fisherman, yeah.
We should probably look for those before we go back.
Well, so you said that. So at the end of the session, actually, everything back, and then you took a long rest.
Yeah,
Then
we're
let's just go back.
sleeping. We need rest. Hopefully, Addie gets some rest.
No.
You are waking in the morning of Hammer 30, which is the day before midwinter.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, the question becomes, do we stay here looking for 4 people, or go to where this apparently metal dragon is going to attack on Midwinter and potentially help the townsfolk there? Because
I thought we were past this bullshit trolley problem thing.
What?
I thought we as a society have moved past this bullshit trolley problem thing where the good of one versus the good of many, and do we want to pull the lever? And the trolley in this case is a giant fucking dragon.
Yeah, so we've been playing this game for like 15 sessions.
Yes.
I'm not sure in which of those sessions you got the idea we were past all this trolley problem bullshit.
We're never going to be past all of it until we actually deal with it.
Yep.
So I will point out, Captain Arlagath did ask you to look for the 4 people and gave you permission to search the docks first, but...
Yep. So we should probably go back and continue looking for them before...
Yeah, okay. We know that the dragon has plans to attack Bryn Shander, right? That's where it was going?
Well, I thought it had plans to attack a lot of places.
Well, yeah, like there's these arrows on the map that look like they go to a couple towns we haven't been to.
You should have the maps in your handouts.
Oh,
I'm trying to find it right
so
now.
I was thinking wrong. So it was going to Dugan's Hole and then Goodmead.
So here it is. I'll show it to you.
Yeah, Nildar's map.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was trying to find which one it was.
I have like 3 things open now because I've got the distance map, I've got the travel speed map table, and now I've got Nildar's map. Okay, so that's 15 miles if we want to get to Dugan's Hole, which is approximately 3 hours on the sled team. So we could spend the morning looking and seeing if we have any luck finding the missing people. Basically have lunch / short rest, and then head out to Dugan's Hole. Passing by Goodmead and basically warning them that this is going to happen.
I mean, something might happen. We don't have a guarantee. Like, that's the thing.
We could also try and see if we could get somebody to send someone ahead.
Yeah, if they have any couriers here, we should encourage them to send somebody as fast as possible.
Depending on how long it takes to find these guys, and we did see that empty boat Bitter did see that empty boat at the end of the on the other side of the lake from where we were.
We might also want to see if we can find Velen and mention to her the shit we found.
We can do that over breakfast.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll be waiting for us down with, like, breakfast, wanting to know what we found at the...
Breakfast for herself, maybe.
Yeah. But I don't think we can do more than like one morning of searching, because then we won't have time to get to the other towns and alert them.
Mm-hmm. For now, let's just have breakfast, then talk to Velen, then try and at least spend the morning searching for these people. And to be fair, we did have a duergar get away because he shrank. So we have no idea where he is either.
So you're going to go to breakfast at the inn?
Mm-hmm.
So you're at the White Lady Inn. Let me throw you over to the town map.
I'd also want to check in with whoever we left the one duergar with and see if they've been able to find anything else out more about him, his condition, or his suit.
Say that again. Who are you looking for?
I'm trying to remember whoever we dropped the one duergar off with that we kind of took prisoner. See if they've had time to talk to get anything. I guess see if he's regained consciousness because we kind of knocked him out.
Right, because he had
and then
the
pulled the
weird
claw thing out of his head. Yeah.
Yeah, the weird tentacle in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
So see
yeah,
if he's
so
what state he's
that's at this building right here that I just turned red. That's the town hall. Okay. Which I'm gonna just take that off and stupid Roll20. Stop it. So I'm just gonna put an X on it so it doesn't ruin the building there. So that's the town hall. The one with the red square is actually the this one with an I on it is the inn. The one with the X is the town hall. So the town hall is where you took Dearth. This right here, this here is the actual dock where the ferry was. It was up here. So you can see it's pretty close to the town hall, relatively speaking. I mean, East Haven is big, so. So you're at the White Lady Inn. And when you come downstairs, you do in fact see Velen sitting there eating breakfast.
You really are predictable.
I've been waiting for you.
Cool. I'm just gonna move to sit.
I mean, if that's predictable, so be it. You're predictable too. I knew where to wait, after all.
Mm.
Where else would you have me wait?
I don't know. I'm just pointing out you're predictable.
Very well.
All people you know have predictable ways of acting. I mean, it makes sense that she'd be down here. Why wouldn't she?
No, I mean the fact she was waiting for us. Anyways, can we just move on from this?
Sure. So what did you find out?
This, and I'm gonna hand her the paper I have about the construct. Dragon diggy babobber.
She unrolls it.
Bobber.
She unrolls it and looks at it for a few seconds. You can see her eyes sort of moving from one piece of text to another. She kind of sighs and rolls it back up and hands it back to you.
Thank you.
I see. Well, that could be problematic for the people of 10 towns.
Could be.
Well, I mean, who knows how close it really is to being done?
Also, have you ever heard of a duergar that shrinks? instead of grows?
Mm, not a specific one. I have heard tales of them being able to do so.
Okay.
Well, we found one yesterday.
Yeah.
Is that where that piece of paper came from?
Yeah.
Their hideout, yes.
Hmm.
Also, the duergar said that they were going to give 10 towns something to think about this midwinter. This seems like something to think about. I gesticulate wildly at the rolled up piece of paper that had the dragon on.
Yes. And where is it that you think they're building this dragon? In East Haven?
No,
No.
somewhere south of here. We found a map that had some indications that it's further to south, and that Dugan's Goodmead and Dugan's Hole might be the first two towns in its flight path.
From the map we have, our guess is that where it's being built is probably down in the spine of the world.
Do we have that map?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could show her the map.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was part of the paperwork I showed her.
So you think they're building this in one of these spots down here?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you propose we do about this?
Well, we have no idea how close they are to completion, though I suspect that they need a lot of black ice if this thing is made out of that. And I think we've already disrupted their chain of supply. That said, if they were planning to do an attack at midwinter, they probably already had what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should tell the towns that are in the way of all the weaknesses that
Hey, something bad might happen tomorrow.
You know, like maybe there should be somebody on watch out saying there's a weakness to the knees and the ankles, and it's powered by a red dragon heart. It seems
And what
like
exactly do you think the 10 towns are going to do about that?
They don't seem capable of defending themselves from something like this.
That's exactly my point.
Best they can do is get out of the way.
Well, that's better than nothing.
At least have a plan to
Right?
hunker down.
Find safety somewhere.
It'd be a disaster if they just were hit completely unawares.
And it would be our fault.
So you're not going to go try to stop the dragon. You'd rather just warn the people and leave them nothing to do?
Well, how are we supposed to get all the way down there in like one day?
Yeah, that's the issue.
It's only 3 hours
Also,
away.
it's a dragon.
Well, 3 hours to Dugan's Hole. From where that X is, I have a feeling that where they're probably building it is down in Dragonspine. That's a lot farther.
We don't have to go all the way down to the spine. We just have to intercept it on the lake.
I guess that's true.
We also promised we were going to find the missing people.
1 second ago, you just said it was a dragon, and you can't fight it alone. And now you're suggesting just standing out on the lake and intercepting it? I'm not sure you understand what you're dealing with.
He doesn't.
Well, we have to do something. We can't just let it attack the towns. Besides, if we attack it on the lake, all we have to do is ground it, and then the ice.
Are you capable of grounding it? Because I'm not.
No, but we could make it to the spine of the world.
How we do that?
Kind of looks around to make sure there's no one else in the inn. Well,
I smell secrets.
You know, I have dabbled in some arcane arts that you might find distasteful.
Necromancy.
Yeah, to each their own.
So, I do happen to have a dog sled team that is what you might call supernaturally fast.
So they could get us to the spine of the world?
Probably in 7 to 10 hours. But that's
No.
better than 3 days.
Because we don't have to worry about them needing rest.
And they just flat out travel faster.
Yeah, if we took a normal one, there's a lot of mountains and there's no path, so it would take a normal dog sled quite a lot longer. That's
Didn't you
assuming.
wonder how I made it to Lonely Wood so quickly?
Yeah, we had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I figured you flew.
I figured it was
I'm-
magic related in some way.
I'm not oral. I don't have a giant rock pet to fly around.
I mean, you kind of don't need one necessarily, but most most forms of flight that you could learn through magic don't last that long.
Anyway, so what do you all think? Spine of the world?
Yeah, but we are going to have to make a stop and talk to the people in charge of
No, we
this
don't.
town
We
at
can
least.
send messengers to the towns.
I'm of this town so that we can actually
Yes, we'll
tell them to send
inform
people
the captain about what we've learned.
and
And he
also
can
to let
send a messenger. She can send a messenger.
and also to let her know that we did find an empty boat, but we weren't able to investigate it.
Yeah, that works. We can let her know. But we have literally a day to go find this thing, get to Spinal World, all that shit. So we should probably go this morning and not go looking for four random people who we don't even know who disappeared.
But who you agreed to look for?
We could look for a little bit
We
and then leave.
You give
I
us like
think it-
2 hours.
Those 2 hours might be the difference between finding this thing before it takes flight or not.
Can't
Yeah,
be
you're
that
right.
hard to
I
find
mean,
a giant dragon, though.
You've obviously never fought a giant dragon before.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
I've
think any of
when
us
I
have.
the only time I've ever even seen what I thought might have been a giant dragon, I ran. Like any sensible person would have.
If we can get to the dragon before it is being used, we would have the advantage. Once they have it fully operational,
We're fucked.
Yes. We don't know how long it'll take to actually get it started either.
What if it takes 2 hours?
I think we report our findings and what we've learned to the captain, let them know about the empty boat. And note that if we have a chance to stop this thing from reaching 10 towns, then we need to take it.
I think she'll understand that.
Do feel bad.
Yeah, we all do, but honestly, if we let this be, then a whole lot more than 4 people are going to be affected by it.
And let's be
Yes?
real, those people have been missing for a little while. They might already be dead. Do you really want to risk finding dead bodies versus making sure more dead bodies don't happen tomorrow?
Yeah, didn't they say it was like
Mhm.
a couple of days that they had gone missing already?
Felon could fix them.
I don't
Not-
think that's the
Not
fixing they'd
wrong,
want to
but-
see.
No.
Let's not talk about raising the dead. I don't think the families want that
Anyways,
kind of.
moving on, maybe skip that.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, let's just finish our breakfast, go tell the captain shit, and then head out. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. We scarf down food and go looking for the captain.
So you want me to get my
Please.
sleds ready?
Yes, please.
Very well. I will meet you outside of town along the East Way. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to bring them in town.
No.
That would not be wise.
Yeah, so this area right here is the edge of town on the East Way.
I'll leave the axe beak here because I don't think it could keep up with what she's got.
Yep, and then we just have to make arrangements for the pups too.
Yeah. I mean, we can leave what food we've got. We've got plenty of food, so it's just feeding them, keeping them safe.
Yep. We'll just have to arrange for payment for it, and then it'll be fine.
Okay. So we'll seek out I guess we'll go to the town hall, see if the captain's there.
Yes, the captain is there in the front room of the town hall. Place where you met yesterday. Ah, I trust you had a good night's rest.
Some better than others.
I see. What can I do for you this morning? Are you going to look for my missing townsfolk?
Well,
I look guilty.
Bitter
What
says
does a guilty tabaxi look like?
Ears
not
are just
move.
flat against the head, looking shifty. Tails like just curled around one leg, not wagging. Like, oh, I may have tipped over your shiny, important vase that's irreplaceable. Oops, my bad.
What are you doing, cat?
Speaking of guilty kitties, please don't die.
We found some information. So we found some more information on that trouble the duergar are planning for 10 towns.
Oh. Do tell.
How equipped would you say Dugan's Hole and Goodmead are to withstand a dragon attack?
You mean like a white dragon or something?
No, I doubt. No.
But a dragon of that size, probably. Maybe bigger.
At least a white dragon would have been natural.
Well, to be honest, none of the 10 towns are equipped to withstand an attack from a dragon at this point.
What we
Yep,
thought.
that's.
The duergar have been apparently creating a construct shaped like a dragon and powered by dragon magic of sorts, and plan
Heart
to
of a red
unleash
dragon.
it. Plan to unleash it on 10 towns
Probably tomorrow.
Those 2 towns might be the first.
We did spot an empty boat yesterday, but I think we have to go and try to stop that dragon from even getting to 10 towns first.
We understand you're worried about your people, but we think the higher priority should be making sure this dragon doesn't show up and possibly wreck all of 10 towns.
I would tend to agree, but how do you know there's a dragon?
Show her the
Yep, show her the
blueprints.
Okay, I take out the paperwork and show it to her.
But how do you know it's... I don't know how any of the towns could withstand a dragon attack at this point.
Which is
And
why
that's-
we need to stop it from happening at all.
We're not sure how they're. We don't know where in their assembly line they are for this thing. But that's why we need to make it to the spine of the world before they do. And that means we need to leave immediately. Travel as fast as possible. At the very least, if we don't get there, we can at least see where it's heading and perhaps delay it long enough for those two first towns to evacuate.
You think that you can outrun a dragon with a dog sled?
It's not about outrunning
How?
it, it's about intercepting.
We think we have a way to. We think we have a way to get there before it, potentially before it takes off, and if we can, then we might be able to keep it from taking off in the first place. That's probably the best chance we've got. That thing gets airborne, there'll be no stopping it.
Mhm.
Either way, there's no guarantee we can do this, which is why I would suggest messengers be sent to the two towns to alert them.
I think the best bet is to send everyone to Bryn Shander. They're the only one with a completed town wall.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Maybe we could make a stand. I don't know that everyone can get there. You're saying it's going to attack today?
Tomorrow. And
We
that
have
will,
we don't know for sure, but we're pretty damn sure.
everyone will be celebrating tomorrow. They will most likely be aiming to attack during one of the dark periods, because they are duergar and prefer the darkness. They'll have the advantage then. As well, they'll want everyone to be, in their drinks and so on and so forth, so probably later in the day, which means we have approximately a day and a half.
Hopefully. We need to go and try and stop, the attack from happening in the first place.
She's very distraught. I will speak to the speaker and we'll send messengers out to every town and encourage everyone to try to go to Bryn Shander, I guess. I don't know how I'm going to convince these people. You want them to leave their homes and go somewhere else, and a dragon may or may not show up.
And the other
I'll
option
try.
would be trying to hide in the forests north of Goodmead, between Dugan's Hole and Goodmead.
Yes, but hiding in the forest, if it's going to destroy our homes anyway.
We don't know what the Durgar's goal is with this, besides scaring the 10 towns into submission.
As if we're not already submitting to the will of the Frostmaiden. I don't...
exactly working for the Frostmaiden.
Oh, who are they working for?
Is it Torog?
Yes.
Torog.
He who crawls, right?
That's even more unbelievable. How am I ever going to convince these people?
I understand you might not be able to. Give people the option. If they want to be stubborn and stay in their homes, that is up to them. But give people the option to travel to Bryn Shander where they might be a bit safer and make a stand.
Ember, could you make a copy of those blueprints?
There you go.
Insert scribble noises.
We'll keep the copy. You take the original. It'll give the warning more power if they see the actual blueprint. Not to mention the scope of what they're up against.
Showing them the duergar that we recovered also might lend a little credibility to it.
My people, yes, but I'm going to send a messenger to all of the rest of the towns. They might just not believe me.
If they don't believe you, you did what you could.
At least you told them.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to them whether they take it serious or not.
But let's be real. If you send them a message, at least some people are going to be keeping an eye out in the sky and ready to set an alarm if need be. They might think you're crazy enough to, not evacuate, but someone will be keeping an eye out just to be sure.
All right, very well. I will do it. I'll do it.
Okay. Try our best so that they don't see any dragons in the sky. And while they may call you a liar after that, we'll probably have proof if we're successful. If we're not, well, then they'll be able to see it with their own eyes.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, though. But we should get going. We're short on time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope I didn't screw up this copy.
This scribbled in 30 seconds copy? Yeah, no, it's perfect.
As long as we know that you wrote down the weak points, then it's fine. Because we're the ones who are taking that.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of distance to travel and not enough fucking time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Be good, Bubbos. I love you.
So we go back to the inn, talk to the innkeep, and what money? We have money.
We do have money.
Yeah. We'll leave
A little bit.
We had 15 days of rations for both us and the dogs. We might as well leave that here because it'll be less shit to travel with. And that way they've got 15 days to take care of the dogs. We're probably going to be back before then, but,
Mm-hmm.
We better. What if they run out of food and they start to eat the dogs?
They won't eat the dogs.
They won't eat the dogs.
It might
No
eat
one's
the
going to
axe
eat
beak.
trained
good luck with
dog
that.
sled dogs.
Yeah,
Axe people
no.
would probably eat them.
Yeah, them
And
too.
try.
But yeah, they're not. This is 10 towns.
Dogs are too valuable.
Way too valuable to eat.
Yeah. Yep.
So how much is that going to cost us? Say,
What are you trying to do? I mean,
find someone to take care of the dogs.
Yeah.
Boarding.
We're giving them
we
food,
just
so
need
it's just
some-
like board for the dogs and like keeping.
yeah,
them
you
fed.
can just board them at the inn. They're not.
Cool.
They're not that
Okay.
particular about that.
Hey, stop it.
I mean, you have all that food from Torgas anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not like they're even having to provide food. So
Mhm.
It's just they have to make sure to feed them
Mhm.
with that food. So
All right. Well,
Sorry, I'm just looking for something that it referred me to, but it didn't. For normally in Roll20, like when it refers you to read the certain section, it has a link to it, and this time it didn't. So I'm looking for something.
hey, cat.
There it is. Okay.
Why are you demanding so much attention right now?
Because
she
you're
loves
streaming.
you.
Knows it's that time.
mm-hmm.
He's not even letting me do anything but pet him. If I go to grab the mouse or anything, he starts biting my fingers. Yeah, brat.
All right, so so you have arranged for boarding for your dogs. and for Captain Arlagath to talk to the speaker and get some messengers to go to each town and tell them there is a possibility of a dragon attack tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep.
And now you're going to meet Velen outside on the East Way.
Correct.
To get her sled dogs. Is there any special equipment that you're taking with you?
What we had?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Make sure we have, food and shit, but.
Oh yeah, we have our food.
Yeah.
I'm
Are we
bringing all my
taking-
normal stuff.
Yeah.
Are we taking the fancy bubble of change the weather?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just,
I don't want to leave
know.
that with anyone else.
Out of curiosity, just wondering.
I mean, like we're gonna be going a long way off the trails and the roads. I mean, that would be a lifesaver, literally, if things get really bad for us.
Yep. We don't want to get slowed down by a blizzard when we need to get there fast.
Unless this thing actually takes off, then we want the blizzard to stop it.
Yeah.
Presuming, of course, that would actually even slow it down.
That's fair.
It's a construct that has the heart of a red dragon.
Yeah.
So.
At least it's not a white dragon. Then it wouldn't have trouble.
Then it would probably want the blizzard.
Yep.
I'm just saying, I mean, if I understand the spell right, I could literally create, the world's worst blizzard with this thing for a few hours.
I feel like that'd be a bad idea, but yeah, you could.
I mean, if you want to ground a flying contraption the size of a dragon,
That'd be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if we find out that somebody's actually controlling it and they have to tell it where to go.
Yeah, we don't know how this thing's actually being operated. If it has some internal control or if it's just automated.
Yeah, or if it's a living creature or machine.
I think that's one of those philosophy questions.
Philosophical?
Bless you.
All right. Well, we catch up with Velen.
If you lose your doctor's license around here, you do just become a necromancer wizard. You have all the knowledge, but you're just a really shit doctor.
Don't pay Ember any mind.
Did you say something, Sue?
We're heading out. Ignore him, please.
I feel so ignored for some reason. I can't imagine why.
Yeah, it's a total mystery.
Handing Ember a piece of fish jerky. Pat, pat, pat. Behind the ear scritch.
Is there some kind of taffy you could give him that would get stuck in his mouth and he would just be chewing for 10 minutes
you just
so he
want
couldn't
cat
talk?
peanut butter.
I mean, there's
Yes.
a type of gum root, but yeah,
if we get a hold of that, give that to Ember.
It's pretty rare, but it's kind of a natural glue.
If we find that, give that to Ember to eat.
Okay. So you get over to where the Eastway is coming out of town, or alternatively coming into town, depending on where you're going. And Velen is waiting there with a team of 10 sled dogs.
Wow.
And they are humongous wolf-sized dogs. And they have flesh falling off and ribs showing, and half of them are mangy, and yeah.
Were any of them skinned? I feel like one or two of these might have been the ones that we dealt with.
Yeah, it looks like. I was like, oh, that one looks like one of the ones we fought when we first got to Targos.
I'm not even gonna think about that. So, hey, Velen. These are your dogs, I see.
Yes, take care of them. You know, they're quite special to me.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie does
If
not
we
look
survive,
comfortable with this.
There's not really any other option.
I
Yeah.
know. She's dealing with it. Just not comfortable with it.
do we come back here afterwards, or would you rather meet somewhere else? What do you want us to do if we survive this?
Wait, but what do you mean if?
There's always a possibility.
I will be going back to the Elven Tomb to discuss some things with Sonar. So if you make it back,
Head that way?
I suppose I'll meet you outside of Lonelywood or something.
Alright, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will see you at Lonelywood because we are not going to die in the middle of nowhere.
Anyway,
He sounds worried. Are you worried?
I'm not worried. I haven't been able to tell all the good stories yet because I have to wait a year. And if I have to wait a year and I die in the middle of nowhere, then no one's going to tell it.
hold on to that thought and stubbornness. At least you won't die then.
I will.
Velen, if things do go horribly, do you have any advice on dealing with dragons?
Yes, lots of them breathe horrible things. Stay out of the way.
Good idea.
Alright.
Poke him in the ass.
I have a feeling this one cannot be tamed or subdued. So that's the best I can do for you is
Break it.
tell you to stay out of its way.
All right.
Do not.
And hope that it cannot cast magic as others can.
Yeah, let's not.
I'm
Awful.
really hoping as a construct it can't.
We'll
Let's
have
go!
to see.
It's constructed of crystals that hold arcane power, so
I'm trying not to think of that.
very well. I will see you in Lonelywood, hopefully.
Alright, bye.
She disappears.
What?
She disappeared.
Ow!
Like
Fucking
walks
magic,
away or
that's
just
how.
bam, she's out.
No, she just went
He just
on.
teleports.
Show off. Alright.
I mean, we never said that she was modest.
Nope. Far from
I
it.
just really hope the reason she didn't bring that up is because she can only teleport herself.
I mean, for all you know, she teleported 30 feet away behind a tree, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know how magic works.
And it was a misty step, but yeah. Let's go.
Yep,
Mhm.
we're
Much
heading
time.
All
out.
Day's
right,
not getting any younger.
Are these puppies friendly or not friendly?
They're very-
What are you going to do to try to find out?
Hello, puppies. Are you going to try and eat me as I try and get on this sled?
Well, the sled's behind them, so
Nope.
they're not trying to eat you now, but
So it's just one sled, right?
it is an extra large sled.
Okay.
Yes.
So Sigil drive.
Sure.
Okay.
She's the only one in this group, I think, with proficiency in land vehicles, and if we're gonna be driving this thing for a while.
See if the
I
dogs
legit
are that
forgot
big.
that was a thing.
So
see if the
what's
Come up.
if the dogs are that big, I think the dogs are the ones that are going to be driving.
Mhm.
so I moved you over to the Icewind Dale map.
Yeah, great.
So if you East Haven is right here. I don't know how much of this is labeled for you, but East Haven's
None.
right
None.
here.
None.
Okay, so East Haven's right here. Let me put a big old X on there. Okay, there's East Haven. Okay, and the X on the map that you have from Nildar is about right here. So, you have a choice of, just kind of,
Tink.
you're talking about almost 15 miles here. But if you take the roads, you're talking about 7 miles to Goodmead, 4 miles to Dugan's Hole, 4 more miles to where you got to cross the river,
Yeah,
and
screw
then
that.
9 miles,
Yeah.
right? So,
Besides, we have like the undead party of undead things. I don't think
Yeah,
we,
we
wanna
might
be
not
we're gonna
want
have to.
Yeah, we might want
We're
to
gonna have
avoid
to-
the road.
And
Yeah.
the towns.
Yeah.
I mean,
So the only benefit to doing the towns would be, be able to give them some more advance warning if these dogs are as fast as she claims
But-
they are.
Yeah.
I don't want us to come into town with an undead
Same.
team.
Me either.
They're
Do
going to be
not.
like, oh, great. So if we don't listen to you, you're going to send a dragon at us.
Might be. I'd rather not
Yeah, screw the
be
towns.
in that situation. Hey, if we
Yeah,
really
we'll
wanted to
head
screw the
directly
towns, we wouldn't have
south.
told them.
Yeah.
it also means we can cross the river where we can be sure that the ice is thick enough, because that canal there is probably going to be frozen over by now.
By now, you mean for a long time.
For over a year.
Probably closer to 2.
Yeah, because if we cross over the lake, there might still be areas that are not.
Thinner.
Mm-hmm.
So straight south it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know if those are like hills, aren't they? Like
Yeah, those
these-
are all hills. All those things are hills.
Yeah, so
Which is why, I mean, if you were just looking at mileage, 20 miles doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it's all up and down hills and there's no trails. So
Yeah.
even though these dogs are really fast, you're talking about still,
But if we do that route that like 3 of us have
Drawn out, yeah. And then into that little canyon there or whatever.
Mhm.
it'll skirt most of the hills, so it'll be
Mhm.
like easier going.
Mhm.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
Yeah. So you're still talking several hours, and then you have to climb. Then you have to climb the mountain.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, a normal dog sled team does 5 miles per hour, so is this one like twice as fast, or is
A
it just
normal doesn't do 5 miles an hour.
on a good road?
A road, yeah.
Yeah. So on no trail, a normal sled team does 3.
Right. So does this one do 5 on a
This
no
this
trail?
one can do 4, maybe 5.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you're
we're
talking
still
about
4
you're talking about
hours.
4 hours, and then you have to climb the mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 4 hours, and then we could go down this way with them to get at least as close as possible, and then climb up the mountain. Because once we get to the mountain, we don't know where that hole is, so we'll have to just keep an eye out. Okay, so we have a plan.
I have a very purry boy.
Little dog sled away.
So, roll me a perception check.
Is this what the kids call a corpse party?
I thought it was more of a skeleton crew.
Is everyone doing perception?
Sure.
10. Oh, thank the gods.
17.
11.
11.
20.
Oh, thank the
17.
gods.
Wait,
Woo.
I have
Well,
disadvantage.
you didn't
up.
get sleep for shit.
Oh,
Natural 1.
There it is.
persuasion, but
I
natural
fell
1.
asleep.
2.
So
I just
Bitter
like, I'm
and
really paying it.
Yeah, she fell asleep.
Mhm. She needs
So,
it.
Bitter and Oryx, you see looming clouds and a storm front coming toward you.
Oh. Guys,
Hmm.
there's a storm coming.
Can we tell how bad it looks
Um,
and how far away it is?
It is fast moving. It's probably maybe an hour away. And it looks pretty bad.
Is it a size where we could potentially go around it, or too big to do that?
Way too big.
All right. Well, then I'm going to pull out the Summer Star, and I'm going to cast Control Weather.
Oh, already. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, if we don't want to get slowed down, this is
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, what?
No, we fight the final bad guy. We ever use this thing? Nah, we were saving it for a rainy day.
Literally a rainy day. Okay, so this will take 10 minutes to kick in.
So we're 10 minutes closer to the cloud.
It should be, it's 1d4 times 10 minutes.
All right. Well, it's a casting the spell. It takes 10 minutes.
Oh, for the new.
Oh yeah, and then it takes 1d4 times 10 minutes for the new conditions to sort of sweep over you.
Oh, so the storm is almost on us.
40 minutes, great.
Hey,
Okay,
that's
so
better than nothing.
Hey, you can focus on that while I focus on driving.
okay.
It doesn't mean we have to slow down for 40
will...
minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so I can basically just make it a clear. I'm going to make it a clear day. I'm going to make it warm. I'm going to make it warm, and I'm going to make the winds as calm as possible.
Oh, this is what so sketch.
Yeah. Well, warm. How warm do you mean? Because if you warm it up too much, then
the snow will begin to melt.
I was just going to say the dogs are going to decay.
I mean, not like they're not already, but yeah.
Also, like, I don't know what control weather you're reading, but where does it say you get to decide what the weather is? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I'm looking at the spell. So it says when you change the weather conditions, find a current condition on the following tables and change the stage by 1.
Yes.
Up or down.
Up or down.
So the current condition is Arctic cold. You can't make it warm because that's 3 steps away.
Okay,
so
we'll
make it cold then.
Yeah, cold.
Okay, I mean, okay. As I'm reading the spell, it says this is concentration up to 8 hours. It takes 10. I rolled. It takes 40 minutes for the new conditions to take effect. Once they do so, you can then change the conditions again.
Right.
So it's not like.
So, I see what you're saying. So you're gonna, but then it takes. Then it's going to take 1d4 times 10 minutes to change
again,
it.
Another step.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So yeah. So and also, so right now it's Arctic cold, storm, blizzard. So. So your first casting is going to take, it takes 10 minutes to cast it, and it's going to take 40 minutes to go from Arctic cold to cold, storm to windy gale, and blizzard to snow, to regular snow.
That's fine. No, I'm expecting this will take like 3 hours or so to fully take effect, but if that's how I'm understanding it. Yeah, I'm not expecting to say, "Oh, snap my fingers," and it's all of a sudden it's a nice summer day.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 hours. That's kind of what I'm
So roll me a d4 again.
So 20
okay,
minutes.
So 20 minutes to get from cold to wherever it went.
Yeah, I will say, don't warm it up too much because it'll get real messy real quick.
Yeah, good point. Okay.
I'd keep it cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool is warm to the people who are used to it here.
Good point.
Yeah.
Gosh, at this point, I'm probably taking off some of my
gale
cold
to
weather
strong
gear.
Wind.
And if you do it strong wind, you can always have the strong wind at our back so that it's helping and not impeding us.
Oh yeah, I can change its direction. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
And this stays centered on us the whole time. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we'll have the wind in our backs with this. We'll say so strong wind, cool, and then clear as far as clouds go.
Well, overcast is as far as you get in an hour.
But yeah.
Right. I'm saying that's what I'm eventually shooting for.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you do that. So you get about, well, let's see, would we say it was going to take about basically the whole rest of your travel is going to be in relative warmth, right? Because you're really casting this on yourself, so it radiates out a 5-mile
radius as we
area
go. Yeah.
around you. Yeah. And so, so for 10 miles surrounding this little caravan, it's suddenly a summery day.
A 10-town summery day, but still.
Yeah, I mean,
It's weird.
yeah. It's still dark though, right?
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Hey,
Don't be
Aurel,
suspicious.
this 10-mile radius, this 5-mile radius is really, really sus.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
well,
Yeah, you actually start
Why I
seeing.
said don't make it warm.
I said I'm keeping it cool.
Cool is like
I'm
40
uncomfortable
degrees
right now.
Fahrenheit. Like it's
Okay,
you
fine.
went from
I will go
from negative 45 or negative 80
40.
to about 0 or 20.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
It's
Well, this way Addie doesn't freeze to death on the way out here.
If anything, you might have Sid complaining it's getting too warm.
I will turn this sled around.
I'm the one driving, bitch.
Oh.
Yep.
So, roll me a perception check again.
Oh god. We're definitely garnering too much attention.
Yes.
And I'm very uncomfortable with how
thanks
warm
to
this
gods,
is.
Ember.
Oh no.
what do I peep see with
Ember.
my little face?
Ember, you are absolutely positive that you're starting to see little points of light.
Shit.
Just on the outskirts of where the weather is good. Because, see, the thing is that the blizzard is still going on around you. It's just that you're in kind of a dome that has really good weather.
We're in the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
And you can see, actually your vision is so good right now because there's really nothing obstructing it. I mean, there's not even a snow now. It's just kind of a light breeze. And you sort of see this sort of storm front around you 5 miles away on each side in each direction. And
so cool.
Ember, you're starting to see like points of light, like getting closer to, and then it'll like wink out, and then it like you see it again, and then it like winks out, and then you see it again, and
Lighthouse heads.
like they're getting, there's more of them. Like it's not just one. Like you saw one and it kind of winked out, and then you see another one in a different direction. And then you see a third one in a slightly different direction. And then you see a couple of them where you saw the first one initially. And
Guys.
Yeah, we're fucked.
What's up? What do you see?
There's light bulbs.
What?
Oh no.
There's like balls of light, and they go zoop, 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 zoop. Also, this is really cool. But
No,
I
it's
think
not.
they're
It's really
noticing
hot. I don't
us.
like it.
Oh, I think they've noticed us.
you've basically, it is kind of cool because you kind of made like a reverse. You made a reverse snow globe. You're like in the globe of no snow, and everything on the outside
that is cool.
is really like, yeah. So you're kind of
right.
in a paradise right now.
So how dark is it outside right now? Is it
Well, what
dim or
time did everybody
darkness?
get up this morning? That's the question.
I was early.
It was probably early since we had plans for the day.
What time did you meet Velen? Let's put it that way. Or
Like 7 or
breakfast.
8.
Yeah, breakfast.
I'm gonna say we probably got up at dawn or whatever passes for dawn around here.
There is no dawn.
Exactly.
Is 6 a.m. when it gets dim light, right? Remember, because
Yeah,
there's dim
so then-
light from 6 to 10.
So yeah, it got bright.
So
So we
that's,
woke up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you met Velen.
We would have gotten
and-
up with that light, so it would have been 6
Right.
o'clock in the morning that we met with Bellen. Spoke to her and
Well,
had.
if you get up at 6, then it takes an hour to do your prep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would have met her at 7.
And then a little more time making arrangements for the dogs and stuff. So it probably got going around maybe 8 or 9.
I'd say possibly even 10 because we had to talk to the captain. and do
Okay,
all
yeah,
that.
that too.
I mean, it's not like we were spending too long there. We weren't exactly chit-chatting about the weather. There's not much to say.
Well, now we are.
Yeah, now there is.
Yeah, now there is. So we probably left around 9, 10 at most.
Okay.
And we've been traveling for what, at least an hour, because that's when the storm actually got calmed.
And then, but now it's already like getting to the cool, so it's been like 3 hours. You've been traveling already.
Okay, that would be getting us to the spine
You
of the.
are now, you're now closer to the spine than you are to any of the 10 towns.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was 15 miles out from our planned journey, so that would be like we're an hour out from getting to the spine.
Right.
We need to just keep going. If those things are staying away from us because of the freaky weather balloon,
Are they, or are they getting closer?
they're
Well,
just
they're
like
not in the bubble.
So, if you left town at
let's
9
say
a.m.,
9, yeah.
It's been about 3 hours, so it's around noon, and I think it's basically dark outside because today there's a full moon. So it's actually dim light right now for you.
Great. So we keep going. We keep an eye on those things, but we keep going. Honestly, I don't think I'm too bothered if we end up leading these things to the duergar. Let them deal with the duergar.
Yeah, they can all have a nice friendly kibitz and deal with each other. Yeah.
You're saying that, presuming that they actually would attack them if they saw them.
Those things
We
don't
know
seem to
how these
have.
things- We don't know how they operate,
No, we don't.
and Aril could absolutely be giving them instruction too.
We keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So
Stop.
you get.
Stopping is a bad idea. That was.
So you aren't stopping. Ember, you continue to see, and I guess if Ember told everyone, if you're all looking, you continue to see occasional like points of light. Like it's almost like it's walking up to the edge where the storm is meeting the calm, and it gets close enough and then it turns away. But it never comes into right? But as you get closer to the spine, you start going through this little forested area, and you notice that some of them actually are starting to come into the circle. I mean, you're traveling a lot faster than they are because they're walking, but your good weather is 5 miles in each direction. So you can see some of them that are like, some of them enter and then you're traveling so fast they kind of get pulled back out of it, so to speak, and then some of them enter it from the side and they travel towards you for a while, and then if you slightly change direction they end up getting pulled back out just because they can't travel as fast as you are. But they are, seem to be getting closer because you're going a little slower because you're getting into rougher terrain right now. And
don't like that.
Nope.
As you get to this point here, I guess I got to turn on that. When you get to this point here, I guess you're going to turn in and try to get. You're gonna,
go through the little ravine area.
Yeah. So you're gonna try to go this way, right? Like this. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
So you
And
kind
I
of
sure
came
hope
down
these
like
things
this.
don't attack Velen's sled dogs while we aren't there to defend them.
They didn't attack the dogs before. Why would they attack undead dogs? Those things seem to be undead themselves.
We don't know.
So the question is, are you going to try to have the dogs like try to pull you up the mountain, or are you going to get out and climb on foot?
I mean, once we're getting to the mountain to get a look, how steep is it? Does it look like something we could take the sled, this huge ass sled on, or
Yeah,
is
like
it
how
too narrow?
feasible is that?
Yeah.
So
We might damage the sled doing that.
And we also need to get out of here, so that would be bad.
Mhm.
so the mountain peaks are really high, and I mean some of the sides look very sheer. It's almost, I mean, they're rough mountains, but I mean it's possible. The difference is you might not even go any faster if you take the sleds, because it might just be hard to find a path that dogs could even try to stay on.
Hey, Earl.
Yeah, I would suggest finding a good place to like tuck the dogs and the sled away out of sight.
Yeah.
And then carry on foot up the mountain. We don't even know where the entrance is for this. We have a vague idea, but
Yeah. As someone who's portaged a canoe over land in real life, carrying a sled up a mountain would not be a good idea.
Yeah.
now the question is, do we want to have someone fly in this good weather and see if they can spot the cave entrance so we know in what direction to climb in?
How long can you fly for?
I can only fly for a minute.
I think that's a waste.
I can fly for an hour, or whoever I touch can. No, sorry,
Wait,
not
you
an hour,
can
10
fly?
minutes. 10 minutes. I have fly.
Oh.
So 10 minutes would be the max. And that'd be if I was willing to burn that slot.
I say Ember's also got a bird familiar.
Yeah, and mine has wings that do things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
And would blend in better. Probably wouldn't attract attention.
Okay, so we send the bird.
You alright with that, Ember?
Be a good little birdie bird.
How far away can you see through its eyes?
So that's a good question.
100 feet.
100 feet.
100 feet.
Okay, that should be enough to fly like up 100 feet and like see what they can see from the mountainside.
Well, so that leads to my next question, which is, are you all starting to climb up the mountains such that you might be able to see the... Because remember, everything outside of your snow globe is blizzard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
Right?
should start climbing the mountain.
We still have to start climbing the mountain. We don't want to stay still, because if those light walkers are following us, we need to keep moving.
Yep.
I guess what I'm saying is, if when you find the fortress, if you're bringing your good weather with it, they'll know you found them.
I mean, I can, now that we're here, I suppose I could turn it off.
Or they'll know that you have, that some good weather has come. I mean, I guess technically speaking, they don't know that you...
They don't know it's a bubble following us. But...
Yeah, they don't know that it's you, but they'll know that the weather is there, which means if Birdie flies up or one of you flies up, it's going to be more obvious.
Visible.
Does it look like the storm is still like as rough as it was a couple hours ago?
Worse.
Oh.
Yeah. If we're
She's
down
mad.
here, 5-mile radius.
That's a long way.
Yeah.
Is that. So, like, they have no way of knowing that this is unnatural, because as far as they can see, like, it's just...
Well, I mean, it's such a temperature change. It's going to obviously be unnatural.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily know why.
Correct. That's right.
And, like, they've got mountain on one side, so they don't know what's happening on the other side of the mountain unless they have a hole on the other side of the mountain. And then there's another mountain here.
I will also point out, we have to worry about the fact that they might see this weather as a sign of, okay, let's get our dragon up now.
While the weather's good?
Yeah.
I would not want to climb this mountain in a blizzard, though.
I know. We just need to find the...
Hey, Oryx, get your butt over here.
I'm coming.
All right, we're not doing this torch bullshit. So I poke him in the middle of the eyes.
Ah! What?
You can now see in the dark.
Oh.
We're having none of this torch bullshit. I'm not carrying around matches.
Ember, may I thank you in the manner of my people.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Ember's thinking, oh, yes, food. This will be great.
Big old bear hug.
Knew it.
That's better
me
than,
too.
Flailing arms.
than pushing Ember off the cliff. I mean, could have been.
Thank you.
I love that the component is a pinch of dried carrot.
Or an egg.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I
You
love the
want
way
good
you
vision,
guys
you
literally
gotta
just do
eat
the
more
whole Three
carrots.
Stooges poke. Well, okay, so if we're worried about the weather, I still have the spell under control. I could turn it back to what's normal weather around here and attract less attention, where it says when the spell ends, the weather gradually returns to normal. So,
What if you just hold it off a bit?
yeah. All right.
Yep.
So I'll start cooling the temperature back down, I guess, but I'll keep the winds at a manageable level at this point.
What about the snow?
Let's put it back to regular snow, but not torrential blizzard snow.
So like a light snow to give us some cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
So light snow to give us cover, a bit colder, so it's more realistic for the area.
But let's not blow wind in our face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And let's start climbing a mountain, I guess.
Your
once we get
bird
the
is a
dogs.
raven, isn't it? Hi.
Yes.
Great, that's super blend into the terrain.
It could be a white raven. There are those.
I don't think.
Why would they do that?
Yeah,
Because white ravens are pretty.
it's fine. There's a bunch of birds here. Why would they single out a single dark bird? Send your
So
birdie up.
are you sending the bird up 100 feet?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you just gonna keep it 100 feet above you, as you all climb?
More like
Just
maybe scouting
consistently,
ahead of us to see if they can find where to go.
Kind of circling back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be more normal for a bird to be circling, looking for prey, basically.
Than looking like a bird sitting on a stick that keeps moving in erratic paths.
Yeah, just have it fly in a normal, make it behave like a hawk, basically, looking for food.
All right, Hoot, you gotta pretend you're a hawk. Hoot puffs himself up, being all fierce and stuff. Makes little scratchy motions with his foot.
Guarantee that's going to attract less attention than either an angelic being radiating light
Or a tiefling.
or a tiefling.
A blue tiefling.
So when this bird flies up, do you see out of its eyes? Is that what the deal is, or does it communicate with you in some way? How does this work with your particular bird?
So I can, as an action, see through its eyes and hear what it hears. And then just be deaf in my own little kitty cat self. Or, blah, 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 blah. Otherwise, it's just, it communicates with me.
How does it communicate with you?
Telepathically.
Can communicate with it telepathically.
Right, but does it speak a language, or is it a bird?
It does not speak a language, it's just...
It understands your language, though, doesn't it?
I think so.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
but
really
I'm gonna,
communicates
delete all the other
feelings
crap.
to you. If
Right,
you tell
so-
it, look for this thing, you get a feeling back that, oh, it's here, that kind of
Or
stuff.
danger, danger, danger.
Yeah.
Warning, warning, danger, Will Robinson.
Danger,
And the
dragon.
thing you have to worry about is if you're looking through its eyes, you can't see anything yourself. You can't hear anything yourself. So if Ember's looking through his bird's eyes, one of us is going to have to be basically holding his hand. And if shit hits the fan, smack the hand to warn him, hey, come out of your
Get back here.
bird sight.
Or squeeze, tug, tug, tug.
Yeah.
Oryx will do that.
So you're all climbing. I'm not sure you want to have Ember with his eyes closed as you're all climbing.
No, we'll find.
I would say
how about we
you
check
don't
in?
have to. You just have to check in.
How about
if
check
he
in every now
finds-
and then, where we'll find a spot to stop for a minute or two, so Ember can do the thing.
Yeah, because it doesn't take long to check in with your familiar and get an update as long as he's within range. And then you just, once you're not with watching, you give him the order of look for caves or entrances. If you find one, give me an alert, and then that gives Ember a sign of, okay, I need to tune into bird.
Look for holes.
Big holes.
Dwarf-size holes.
I will say this before we start climbing. I'm just gonna touch a hand to my chest and then cast Mage Armor. So just a very, very thin layer of ice. Because I'm not gonna get caught unawares with a 13 AC. Sorry, 12.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Extra layer of fluff.
So you climb for an hour, and when anybody can sort of look back beyond, look down where you're climbing from, and you see points of light milling around the base of the mountain.
Don't like that.
You climb for an hour or so, and then you take a few minutes to rest, and you don't see anything with the bird. You climb for another whole hour, and some areas of this are just kind of like a sort of medium difficulty hike, and some of these areas are you're stopping to like hammer in a couple of pythons and connect a rope so that you can get over like a ledge. Okay, so it's not like, oh, it's just a switchback path. There are some areas where you're kind of blazing your own trail. And so when I say you're climbing for an hour or two, that doesn't mean that you necessarily went the same distance you would go if you were walking along a regular road for 2 hours, right? After a couple hours of various fits and starts and some easier spots and some more difficult spots, in fact, there's one place where you hear a huge crack, and you look over to your left and you see an avalanche like go down one portion of the mountain, because the temperature where you are is so different from what's normally on the mountain. And as you continue to travel up, eventually after 2.5, maybe even 3 hours, I mean, you're getting, you're stopping relatively often to catch your breath and whatnot, because you don't want to get there completely just
winded,
fatigued all the way out. I need a Constitution save from everybody.
Oh no.
Ignore the 3 because I don't have bless. I forgot to click it, but 19.
13.
Constitution saving throws are not ability checks, right?
It is a save.
Correct. Because I think if you go up an exhaustion level, it screws with saves.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
So 10! Oh God, Addie, please be brave.
Don't you have like guidance
Bitterfrost,
or something?
I thought you were from around here.
I am, but I'm not normally from the mountainous parts.
I can see.
Yeah, so the DC is 15.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So Bitter and Addie failed. So you both gain a level of exhaustion.
That sucks.
What level are you at, Addie?
2.
Should be at 2.
That's gonna start slowing her down, isn't it?
Yeah, my speed is halved.
And so you struggle on for another half hour or so, breaking frequently because Addie is getting visibly fatigued, even more so than her normal lately. And Ember, what's your bird's name?
Hugh.
Hugh?
Hugh.
Oh, Hugh. Okay. Hugh tells you that there's something.
A thing. Ember's ears just go straight up, point the head, go thing, 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 thing.
You found something?
Yeah.
Cool. Which
So-
way?
Do you want to stop and view?
Hey, Addie, you want me to find details?
Eddie's just sitting down on the nearest rock.
Going.
You're giving her a break, so yeah.
Yeah,
Take a look. What's
she'll
birdseed?
catch up. All right, Hugh, what'd you find? And I'm gonna zoom in on his eyeballs, which I'm sure is very, very distracting, going from land view to 100 feet up view.
I mean, luckily you're a cat, so you're not afraid of heights, because otherwise it might be a little disorienting. But you probably are thinking, Ember's probably like, oh, it would be great to jump down from here. I could flip over several times before I land on my feet.
And then go.
And there's a lot of snow to cushion you.
Yeah. So you are now high enough to be above what would be the cloud line. Now the fake weather that has been created now that Oryx stepped it back one, the clouds are in the dome as well. I'm calling it a dome. There's not really a dome, right? You know, there's not a dome. It's just kind of
the area of effect.
In the area of effect, right now there are clouds there because you allowed for snow to start coming down. The bird goes above the clouds, and so Ember, when you sort of start viewing what the bird views, you see icy peaks and humongous mountain ledges. And as you're just above the clouds, you see a huge sheer mountain wall just above where everyone is, just above the cloud line where everyone is. And it's more than 100 feet tall. And high on that wall are rows of what look like slits that have been specifically cut into the surface. And there are lights burning behind them so that it's kind of highlighting the slits, so you can definitely see that there must be, it's created, it's not just some natural phenomenon. And does this bird have like good hearing, or what's the, does it have enhanced senses at all?
It has mimicry and has a passive perception of 13.
Okay, but it doesn't have like enhanced senses of any form. Okay.
It's not an owl.
Yeah, so you also see a very narrow staircase that is hewn into the rock, going up one side of the 100-foot sheer wall.
Well, that's convenient. How close are we to the staircase?
I mean, you're within 100 feet of the bird, so everybody that is sort of resting on the mountain right now is just below the cloud line, and the bird is, probably 100 feet up, just on the other side of the cloud line. And the fortress, is probably, as you look up, probably another 100, 200 feet away before you reach those steps that are carved into the thing. Maybe even 300 or 400 feet, because you're not close enough. Like you're not like close. You're not. Well, you couldn't reach out and touch one of the slits, right? You're far enough away that you see the whole 100-foot high wall.
Well, this will be fun. I'm sure Addie will love the staircase coming up.
Did you say staircase?
Yeah, I pop back and go, I'm sure Addie will love the stairs. So
There's
the good news
stairs?
is we're close and that there are stairs. The bad news is there's little tiny holes in the mountain with a bunch of torches.
How long is the staircase?
Oh, and it's above the cloud line.
The staircase is it's very narrow. It's only like 4 or 5 feet wide, and it is probably 150-foot climb
Great.
up the narrow stairway.
Well, you don't need to know that just yet. Once we get closer, while we're walking, I'll just be like, "Oh, by the way, it's pretty narrow. The stairs. It's maybe 150 feet long, but you know, it's carved into the mountainside, so you know it's not gonna fall off the mountain." Good luck, Daddy.
So none of you are scared of heights, right?
A little late to ask that.
Yeah, but I'm still asking.
I guess I'm about to find out.
Just don't look down.
All right.
I know for a fact that Oryx is not afraid of heights.
Okay.
Because Oryx has the spirit of a lynx.
Spoilers.
It's
We
a
don't know what that
tribal.
means.
Yes.
It's your tribal thing, right?
Well, his tribe's the elk.
Yeah.
We don't know what that means. So, anyways, moving on.
I'm too tired to be worried about heights.
As long as you're not too tired to climb stairs. Let's go.
Don't have a choice.
Orcs will hold out a hand to Addie.
Yeah, you have to kind of drag her because, yeah, my speed now is 15 feet.
So everybody's
question.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask. If I gave her a cup of dwarven coffee, would that get rid of one level of exhaustion for like a few hours?
Mm.
Oh no.
As long as you don't expect her to move after that.
Yeah, what happens after those 3 hours are up?
I gain
I'm
another level of
asking
exhaustion.
for- yeah.
No, you just pass out.
6 hours.
Oh.
6 hours.
Okay, good to know. It's good to know for the future.
How are we gonna climb the stairs without getting spotted from inside this fortress thing?
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because you haven't breached the cloud line yet. So you're
was
all
gonna-
technically under the cloud line right
I was
now.
gonna say, you still have control weather. You could probably make it like foggy.
Yeah. You start getting some of that going.
I mean, we're so high up that you could just make. I know we're above the cloud cover, but you could have the clouds just form thicker and higher to give us, you know. Because we're up high enough, fog isn't going to be a thing, but we do have clouds to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, would overcast sort of that step kind of let me manipulate the clouds and keep those around us?
I mean, I think you could make the wind move so that the clouds
track with us.
Went up higher. Yeah.
I can also give us pass without a trace. So there's that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we might as well do both because it's not gonna hurt.
Yeah, no, I'll use pass without a trace on the group.
Okay.
How long does that last?
Hour.
Okay, so maybe right before we get to the cloud area.
Yeah. Basically, when we're getting close enough that we might get spotted.
Right before you come out of the clouds, basically. Or yeah. Because the problem with pushing the clouds in front of you is at some point, then it'll be blocking views that you want to see. Right? So you'll have to like shift the wind again to move them away, and then at that point, you're going to want to do pass without trace, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And it'll have to be SIG because I don't think I can do that and control weather.
It's both of them are concentration.
Yeah. So the next question is, do we want to take a 5-minute break before we move into the next phase of what's going to happen here?
That'd be a good idea.
That'd be good, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.